All right, so what you're about to watch is a clip from our latest episode of The Night Shift. You can watch the full podcast link below. In this specific clip, we talk about how men and women handle emotions differently and how I have seen the healthiest, most masculine, strongest men in my life personally handle their emotions in times of great difficulty. Because I know there's a whole lot of bad advice out there. There's a lot of people on both sides of the extremes. There's people saying that you should just spill all your emotions out to your wife or girlfriend like they're spaghetti. And there's other people saying that if you even show that you have a soul or a heart, your wife is going to immediately leave you. So I hope that this brings a little bit of clarity and direction and overall just helps you to be a healthier, more masculine, stronger man. Anyways, let's roll it. I just want to sum up with this one last thing that kind of came to my mind that I think could help a lot of people, both men and women alike. And I don't think that this always applies, obviously, but as a good general rule, I was thinking about how men and women tackle emotional difficulties differently. Because that's one of the biggest difference I think there is between men and women. Whenever we come up with an emotionally taxing or an emotionally devastating circumstance, how do we handle it differently? I see those circumstances of emotions as waves, right? That's really what it feels like. And there's a few different approaches. Women just ride the wave. Like wherever this takes me, that's where we're going to go. And I'm going to process through this. And wherever I end up, cool, I'm going from there, from that point out. Yes. Like you're surfing on that thing. You're just riding it wherever it takes you. Men, there's a couple different approaches. A lot of the approaches that I see men taking right now is they'll either try to ride the wave as well, which is not good, because if you're not going to be the pillar in the sand, then nobody is. The other approach that I see is men stuffing emotions down.
I see that one a lot.
Yeah, and submerging emotions. And what you're really doing in that situation is you see this emotional wave coming at you and you submerge, you go under the water. Because what happens when you go under the water? You don't feel the wave. The wave doesn't hit you. You're not so devastated.
But there's still the aftermath of it.
And the reality is you can only stay down there so long before you suffocate. So there's an intense consequence to that. So then how do you handle emotions as a man? The best way that I've seen good men handle emotions is by standing there and letting that wave hit them head on and not moving an inch. And this took me a long time to figure out how to do. But what you learn to do as you're confronting those emotions head on is you figure out how to break a wave. How do you break a wave? You jump into it. You meet it with the equal force that it meets you with. You take affirmative action. When you see it coming, you preemptively move towards it, meet it halfway, and jump into it. That's what I see. The best men in my life, that's how they handle things, is they take them head on. Because here's the deal. If you aren't going to break that wave for your family, nobody is. And where are they going to be swept off to by the time that you've submerged yourself and stuffed those things down and allowed them to impact your family?
Have you ever got pulled under by a wave?
The undertow.
It's just that alone. I got pulled so far out.
Yep.
Sorry.
A lot of these dudes are refusing.
Flashbacks.
A lot of these dudes are submerging themselves, going into emotional hiding, and allowing their families to be drug out to sea by these difficult situations. As a man, you need to
fight to come back.
Yeah, you need to be the emotional pillar. Yes, but that doesn't mean that you stuff emotions down. It means that you meet them head on and you conquer them. That is possible. We're told so often in this modern day and age that emotions just happen to you and they reflect reality perfectly. And whatever you're feeling is a perfect reflection of reality.
Your reality and my reality are very different.
Exactly, right? Then we get into subjective truth and things like that. But when you're dealing with emotions, you have to realize that they can be conquered. You can become stronger than whatever it is that is opposing you in terms of the emotional weight and turmoil and suffering exists. I get it. But you can become stronger than it. You know what you can use to become stronger? This right here. You will have and so many people just rolled their eyes just then, but you have no idea the power this has to break those waves in a moment of suffering.
Do you know that there's literally like formulas in there for how to deal with anxiety?
Yeah, or even just reading these verses out loud. I've literally been in some dire emotional states where like your hands are shaking and you're sweating, and I read these words out loud and the wave's completely calm. I've never seen anything like it, and I can't explain how it works, But I'm telling you, as a man, if you don't know how to use this to break those waves and prevent your family from being drug out to sea, you're going to have a really hard time leading a household. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that clip. I hope it helped you out. If it did, consider subscribing and turn on that notification bell so you never miss an upload. All right, I'll catch y'all later. Peace.